Pix 11 is your local election headquarters, everybody. The Republican race for mayor now down to two contenders. This morning, we're continuing round two of our conversation with the candidates to see where they stand on the issues. And right now, I am joined by business owner Fernando Mateo, who is the president of the State Federation of Taxi Driver, spokesperson for the United Bodegas of America. Good to see you again, Mr. Mateo. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So our conversation with the candidates, sir, has begun each and every time with gun violence in the city because it's such a pressing issue right now. Overall, crime is up. Look at these numbers. According to the latest NYPD report, it jumped more than 30% in April compared to the same time last year. Shootings up 166%. Grand larceny, felony assaults, robberies also all up. Public safety, a cornerstone of your campaign. And instead of defunding the police, you say you will hire an additional 20,000 officers. What will that do, and how much will that cost?
Well, it won't be 20,000 officers, but it will be a few thousand more police officers to make sure we put them in the right places, make sure we get our crime unit back out on the street, make sure that we bring back good policing and policing that worked in the past. We need to bring crime down. We need to address the issue. It's not going to be comfortable for a lot of people, but overall, we need to make New York safe. We need to bring our tourism back and our businesses reopen.
But do you think, sir, that
public safety?
Do you think that adding more police officers, whatever that number may be, is actually the answer to bring down the numbers that I just said?
It's one of the solutions. I think the absence of police officers on the street sends a very clear signal that there's no one out there watching. So when you don't watch the door, the robbers will come. We need to make sure that we have a strong police presence. Let people feel safe. If people see the police officers out there, they will feel safe. But not seeing them out there is a problem. And we need to get more cops out on the streets, on our subway platforms. I would have 2 police officers 24/7 on every police platform, on every MTA platform across the city. And that we need to start with that.
Where do you stand then on aggressive policing, right? And police reform? That has been a big topic of conversation over the past year. Are you in favor of qualified immunity?
You don't listen. No, I'm not in favor of qualified immunity. Absolutely not. We need to have the backs of our police officers. We need to let them know that the city will back them up. They need to do the job the right way, and that's why you have training. That's why you have an academy. That's why you have retraining, so that you make sure that the officers don't abuse their power. But on the other hand, we cannot allow our police officers to be disrespected. We cannot allow our police officers to get spat on, dumped water on. I mean, it's a total disgrace what's going on in New York City right now with our police department. And I will have the backs of our men and women in blue 100%. They will police our streets. They will create community alliances. They will make sure that they visit and they know every small business and kids in the community. You know, getting kids off the streets is a priority issue for me. Making sure that 14 to 18-year-olds have part-time jobs after school is something that I will work very hard on, because if they're not doing something, if they're not working, learning a way of life, we're going to be in trouble.
Okay.
And we stop it there.
And we are starting to see some light at the end of the tunnel as far as the pandemic and reopening of the city is concerned, right? Broadway tickets going on sale this morning, but it's still going to take a long process of recovery for a lot of businesses. What are your top 2 priorities on how you would bring back jobs as unemployment rises, not just in that age group you just mentioned, the 14 to 18-year-olds, but overall?
Listen, let's face it, the biggest obstacles we have here is the mayor and the governor. They are terrible. They don't know they don't know what it is to run a business. They've never owned a business. They've never worked in the private sector. I mean, it's disgusting what they have done to our city and our state. If you look at Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, and you see how thriving Florida is, you will realize that we just don't have the leadership in New York City.
So what are 2 things you would do? What are 2 things you would do to bring back jobs?
I would certainly bring a payroll tax relief to those that come back, reopen their businesses, and bring new businesses back to the city. The same way we could give Amazon $3 billion in payroll tax relief over 30 years, we can do the same for every small business that wants to come to New York and engage. We will protect them. We will be their insurance policy. The city of New York does not protect investors, does not protect risk takers like myself. I fear city agencies. I fear inspectors. They have power which they abuse, and that's what doesn't allow our small businesses to thrive. We need to make sure that they stop the abuse of power and allow small businesses to open, reopen, rebuild, and create jobs. That's what New York should be all about right now.
Briefly, I want to get your take on vaccine passports. Are you in favor of vaccine passports as we talk about a reopening? You say you want to reopen quickly. Some say vaccine passports is the way to do that.
Absolutely not. Vaccine passports is a violation of everyone's civil rights. It's basically a way for government to tell you what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. I think that once this pandemic is down to where it is right now, New York City should be open. 1.5%, there's more than 1.5 sick people in New York at any given time. The pandemic is almost behind us. It's actually like 90% behind us. Let's get our city open. Let's forget this passport nonsense, and let's move forward.
Okay, and I want to bring me to rent right now. It's a big topic of conversation. Rent Guidelines Board just gave preliminary approval to increase unstabilized rents. It wasn't as much as landlords had asked for. With so many people struggling to make ends meet during the pandemic, do you think this is the time to be raising rents? Where do you stand on that and eviction moratoriums?
You know what? I stand that landlords need to make a living as well. They are small businesses just like we are small businesses. I don't believe that landlords should be punished because of this pandemic. And I also believe that a lot of people are making more money today than what they were making before the pandemic. With unemployment and PPP money coming in, it's very hard for small businesses like myself to get your employees to come back to work because they're making more money today than what they were making back then.
Are you saying that unemployed people who can't afford to pay their rent are actually making more money? Is that what I'm hearing you say?
No. What you're hearing is that there's a huge majority of people that are making more money today than what they were making before the pandemic. Of course, there are others that are unemployed and are going through hard times. And I think the city could work with those landlords to give them tax breaks to compensate for the loss of rent. I don't believe that landlords should lose their properties, lose their buildings, because the city and the state order that tenants don't have to pay the rent. That's what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
I'm saying that is right.
We're trying to give everybody fair time. Just yes or no. But you would keep people inside their homes. You'd find a way to do that. Yes or no?
Absolutely. Yes, I would.
Okay, Fernando Mateo, giving everybody equal time here in interest of fairness. I appreciate you being on this morning, and we look forward to talking to you again in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm passionate, not angry.
I hear you. I hear you.